What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Pay Yourself Back. I am your host, C-Los, and I'm a firm believer that if you want to be successful in this life, you have to have a balance of mental and spiritual wellness. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, I'll wait, no problem. For those of you who are subscribed, my subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you guys for showing me the love and support. I really appreciated it. So I get asked often what equipment I use to make my YouTube videos. So what I decided to do is to kind of like share with some of the equipment that I use to make my videos and also to edit my videos as well. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get to it. So what you're seeing right now is the Canon M3 mirrorless camera. This is a camera that I love. I don't do a lot of vlogging with it because I don't have a stabilizer, and it's kind of a bigger camera. I mean, it's not bad, but it is one of my favorite cameras when I'm doing like sit down videos and things like that, face to face. It's great. But I also have a DSLR. I have another Canon. I have the T5i right here. You guys see that? I've always wanted a DSLR. I started out with a Canon XSI, I think, about 10 years ago. And I'm not real big into doing portraits, but I have this camera just in case one day I blow up and become a real photographer. This is a great camera. It's not super high end, but it's a great camera. I mean, it has a viewfinder and it does wonders. I do self-portraits and things like that with this camera, and it's really good for that. I like Canon. I mean, there's other brands out there, but I love Canon. Now, when I first started out doing videos, I really was looking at action cam. So the first action cam I bought was this little guy right here. This is the Sony AS20. If you can see that. It's a good camera. It does, you know, 1080p at 60 frames per second. The picture quality is decent, but a lot of my older videos, I use this camera. I use it a lot. And then I moved up to the Sony AS50. And this is a good camera as well. I mean, it's 1080 at 60 frames per second. It's a step up from the AS20. By the way, they have, I think, the AS10, 15, 20, and 50. And so I graduated from that, and I went out and pulled the trigger on the GoPro Hero 6 Black. I said, well, let me see. I was all this hoopla and all this talk about this camera, so I went out and bought it. And after about a month or so, I was doing a video and all of a sudden it froze up. So there's a real problem with this camera. I don't know if it's just mine, but I don't use it much. I use it kind of as a backup because I should have stuck with Sony. But after that, I went out and bought this here. I went out and bought the Sony FDR X3000, which is a 4K camera, and it is a great camera. I haven't had any, let me just say, I hadn't had any problems out of the Sony products at all. The GoPro, I won't buy another one. That's just me. But Sony is a workhorse. Now, I would tell you, there's some differences, subtle differences between the two cameras. Both of them are 4K. Both of them do a fantastic job. This is optical image stabilization, so it's really, you can be running and bouncing around, as you guys know, and the video is going to be just as smooth as butter. What I have here is a live view remote, so whatever the camera sees, I see through the live view remote. Now, this was initially meant to be worn on your wrist, but I took the band off of it and I just use it on my little selfie stick right here. So this selfie stick is what I use all the time. This thing this is a Fugetek selfie stick, and it extends out about 48 inches, so it goes out quite far. But I use this all the time. I love this here setup. It works for me very well. And again, doing videos when I'm doing scenic places and travel videos, I mean, here's a difference. You're either going to use, which one would you rather use, right? So I use this one all the time. I'm very happy, very proud of this setup, this camera. I have a couple of different microphones. The one that you're hearing me now is just a lavalier microphone. It's a, it's a lapel microphone. It is wired. I have a couple of microphones. This right here, this is the K&F concept microphone I got off Amazon, guys. I'll put the link in the description for the piece of equipment that I use. I also have this Rode VideoMicro. This thing is kind of it's really bulky. I used to use it a lot when I was doing my videos, but what was happening was that if you don't be careful, you see how I got this camera tilted at an angle? If you don't be careful, you put this thing on here, and then the worst thing you want to do is be making a video, and then in the corner, you see this little fuzzy thing in the corner of the video, and it's really annoying. So I kind of got away from this and started using this little cheap microphone right here. Works really well, guys. It's not always about the money. I mean, sometimes you can pay $20 for a product and it works just as good as a $100 product. You just gotta it's a trial and error type of thing. I also have, when I'm doing my aerial videos and aerial shots and you guys see me, I think every YouTuber that does travel videos or scenic places like I do should have a drone. This is the DJI Spark. I started out with the unique Typhoon Q500. I don't know if you can see it in the background. It's there. It's a big old thing. And after about a couple of years, maybe a year and a half, I started having problems with it, and I took it into a guy here in Florida to have it fixed, and he just effed it up, excuse my language. So I ended up going out and buying this. It's a lot smaller, and it does the same thing. The picture quality is not a 4K camera on here. The camera is only 1080p at 30 frames per second, which I'm not really, it does the job, but I wish it was 4K, but I might go up to the MacBook Pro later on when I get some money. So, but it does the job. I mean, it does good. It's small. It can fit in your backpack, or can't fit in your pocket, but it can fit in your backpack. So it works just as good. When I do my editing, I use, guys, I don't have any fancy Sony Vegas and all of these other editing software. I have iMac and I have a MacBook Pro. So I use iMovie to do all my editing. I use Canva, I use Keynote. I mean, these are other little apps that I use to also incorporate some things into my video. But other than that, guys, I'm just a simple, what you're seeing right now, I mean, the lighting is, I've got two kind of old school softbox lights, the LimoStudio softbox lights, and that's really about it. I mean, it's nothing really special that I do. I just learn over time. You kind of get better and better, but it's kind of like a trial and error type of things. You have to do some things, try some things. May not always work out. If it don't work out, then do something different. You know what I mean? I use what works for me. And so far, the equipment that I have here has been working for me. I mean, some of these guys, they have $2,000, $3,000 cameras. I don't have a reason to buy, equipment that's in the thousands of dollars, unless it's a drone. That would probably be the most expensive thing that I would buy. That's really about it, guys. That's the equipment that I use to make my videos. And the editing part is kind of tricky to me. I haven't yet learned how to master the editing as far as timeline. Some guys say, I listen to guys say it takes a couple, 2-3 hours. No, it takes me a day or two. I mean, because I'm very meticulous, and it just, ideas come to me. I'd be like, oh, let me add this. Oh, let me take that out. So and I have time to do that. I'm not in a rush, in a hurry. The beauty of being a YouTuber is that, it's not just about really being creative, but it's also just about kind of taking your time and just you know, making sure that the end result is, you know, what you want it to be. So I don't rush. But other than that, that's really about it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I appreciate you guys tuning in to Pay Yourself Back. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting me. And with that being said, be well, my friend. CeeLos out, baby.